Hey everyone, my name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at some I Don't Work Here Lady stories, so sit back, relax and enjoy. My apartment building is not a business. So thanks to people being freaking stupid, they mistake my apartment building for a LabCorp that's in the strip mall nearby. Our complex is clearly marked as XYZ luxury apartments and 4 huge permit parking only signs when you pull into the lot. We also have a buzzer box that requires a code to ring to a tenant's phone for them to let you into the building. All exterior doors are locked and our landlord had to put up "tenants only, no businesses inside" sign on every dang door. I usually get home from work at around 3 PM and every day some idiot is like, "Hey, can you let me in?" And every day I have to tell them, this isn't LabCorp. Well, today the biggest Karen that ever Karen'd was there. This wildebeest was banging on every door. The rental office door is near the one entrance by our mailboxes. I see the Karen and promptly ignore her to get my mail. Note that for work I have a company laptop inside a company-issued laptop briefcase type bag. K is the Karenest Karen that ever Karen'd, L is landlord and M is me. Are you just going to stand there or are you going to let me in? I'm late for my appointment. Do you live here? No, I'm late for lab work. Well, you're at the wrong building. I point. It's over there by the UPS store. Just let me in already. No. She starts banging on the leasing office door. My landlord says, "Can I help you?" He notices Karen's LabCorp paperwork. "Actually, ma'am, you're at the wrong building." He points her exactly where I just told her to go. "No, this is the address, 380. "No, this is 360. So you're wrong, it's over there." "Get me a manager." I pull up Google Maps. Look, it's over there, not here. We live here. There's no businesses inside here unless you want to pre-order a custom shirt or canvas, or I continue listing items I actually sell through my cell phone small business. No, I need to get in for my appointment. Lady, if you don't leave, I'll call the cops for harassment. Oh, I've already got them on the line for trespassing. Karen starts cursing at my landlord and ran off to her car. I went to the LabCorp lot and got her plate number for a trespass notice for the landlord. Like, why? I also forgot to mention that the Karen commented on my work bag about, well, if there's no businesses here, why do you have a briefcase? SMH, God forbid I own any bags. I'm glad the cops were called though, she doesn't deserve to get away with anything like that. Students are not allowed in the park. My boyfriend works from home 3 days a week. Fortunately, our condo is relatively close to a mock Tudor-style park. This allows him to escape the house and laptop on lunch. The park is built where an old seed house once was, and is complete with the old foundation feature, a man-made lake, gazebo, and a little ways off a splash pad / playground for kids. In short, it is a nice place for a walk. It just so happens that this is also located near a local Catholic school. One day, he is taking a walk with his headphones in, and he is stopped when a woman decides to confront him. "You are not allowed here. You know you are loitering." Confused, he asks for clarification, and he is told that students are not allowed in the park and he needs to leave now. As it turns out, this was a teacher from the school that saw him walking and decided to tell him off. It appears that students were banned from going to the park and gardens. While my boyfriend definitely has a young-looking face, he was dressed in business clothes and has an outgoing scruff. Needless to say, if you took a look at him, you would know quite quickly this is not a teen. Being good-natured, he let her know that he was not a high school student and did not attend the school in question. Thinking it was done, he went to continue his walk. Her response? "Well, you shouldn't be here anyways." Seeing as he had to head home to get back to work, he decided to cut the walk short and avoid any further confrontation. He has not since been bothered, so I can only assume the teacher in question has decided her policing is better spent elsewhere. If she works at the school, then why is she walking around there? Like, why is she there? Surely she shouldn't be there either. I started and quit a part-time job while on vacation. This is more of a "why would you do this to yourself" situation. A few years ago, I was on vacation with my friend in Los Angeles. And being as in my hometown, outlet malls are practically non-existent, we decided to go to an outlet mall. So we had spent a few hours meandering through the mall area and stumbled across an H&M. At the time, I wasn't into the whole idea of shopping and just followed my friend around the store looking at clothing items. As time went on, my friend had amassed a rather large collection of things she wanted to try on. So, following her to the changing room, I told her I would just wait for her there. This store was empty. I had seen maybe one employee the whole hour and a half we were there wandering through the same aisles. My friend had been taking a bit longer than I thought she would in the change room, so I had not taken a seat. On this day, I was wearing the plainest outfit imaginable, something along the lines of a black t-shirt and jeans, no work apron, name tag, or anything to signify that I was an employee there. And this is where everything goes wrong. An older lady, maybe in about her 50s or so, comes out of one of the rooms, and me, being the socially awkward person I am, smiled at her. She walks over and hands me some of her clothes and asks, "I really liked this shirt, but it's a bit too small. Do you have it in a larger size?" Oh no. I began to panic for absolutely no reason because I don't work there. I can just politely let her know I am not an employee and move on, right? Unfortunately, in the moment, I gave her a polite smile and took the clothes she didn't want and placed them on the rack. Being that I had been aimlessly looking at clothes for an hour and a half, I knew where these shirts were. So I took her there and showed her the other sizes and helped her find a few other things before returning to the change room area. I waited a few more minutes there before my friend finally comes out. I ask her if she found anything she wanted, and she shrugs and laughs, saying not really. So I nod and I'm like, "Great, we need to go." She gets confused and I just give her a mildly panicked grin, so she follows me out of the store. Keep in mind the nice lady I helped was still shopping around, so to avoid her seeing me leave the store and permanently embarrass myself, we were ducking in and around clothing displays to get to the exit. Eventually, we made it to the exit and just booked it out. I explained the whole thing to my friend after we had ran into another store to avoid being found. She had a good laugh about it, but oh my god, my anxiety levels about needing to leave a store have never been higher. Yeah, that is definitely something I think I would do. It's just gonna be so awkward. But I can imagine the H&M employees, well, the ones that were there, probably thought something dodgy was going on after seeing them ducking and diving throughout the stores and running out the store. Probably thought they stole a few things. Something is wrong with the chicken. I'm not going to eat it anyway, don't worry. So I went out to eat at this buffet by myself and was sit by a server next to this old man. Let's call him O-Man. This buffet is owned and run by Chinese people, and some of them don't wear a uniform, so I assumed they owned the place or being host and hostess. So anyway, I started to get food and started to eat at the table next to O-Man for a good 15 minutes. Then he disappeared for another 20 minutes with his food left on the table, 1.5 plates full. I was also confused by his disappearance, but I need more food, so I went and got some. Then he walked to me from the restroom. "Hey, come here." "Who? Me?" "Yes, you, come." He's not a native speaker. I proceed to follow him while grabbing an empty plate while walking. The old man starts pointing at the chicken. "The chicken is bad. Something is wrong with them. I was in the restroom for 20 minutes after I ate it." At this point, I was thinking about how he's warning me because the food could be raw or badly cooked, so that I don't eat it. "Thanks, but I'm not going to eat it anyway." I look around and put some food on my plate. The old man repeats the same thing. But I'm not going to eat it anyway." "Who's the manager here? I want to see them." At this point, everything clicked in. I'm also an Asian and dress informally, so he would think I'm the manager here. "I don't know. You could find them over there." I point at the counter. "Do you work here?" I pick up a pot sticker and shrugged. "No." "Oh." Then he walked away and I got my food. After I returned to my table for 5 minutes, he came back and ate his food. Seeing me right next to him, he started to apologize, and I asked him about his health. That's it, a bit of misunderstanding. Well, at least he apologized at the end. I mean, he could have been telling the people there, "Oh, this chicken's raw, can you take it away?" So, I mean, he's warning anyone nonetheless. It can run in the family. My father drove a delivery truck before he retired. His company's uniform was brown pants with a tan shirt. Occasionally, one of his stops was at a minimum security prison in the area. The prison guards had different colored uniforms based on their role. One set of guards wore a tan shirt and brown pants. One day, just as my father was finishing up, a prisoner came up to my father and asks him confusedly, "What should I be doing now?" My father's response was, "Perhaps you should ask that gentleman over there with the star on his sleeve." Yep, my father was mistaken for a prison guard just for wearing the same colored shirt and pants. So now for my story. My husband and I were at the zoo late one afternoon, and I was wearing tan shorts and a green polo shirt. The uniform of the zookeepers is tan shorts and a tan shirt. We were in the area where they had exhibits of the big cats. I was standing in front of one of the exhibits looking for the cat when this young lady came up to me. He asked where the animals were. I replied that they were sleeping. His response was to yell, "Well, wake them up, I want to see 'em." I walked off at that point without any drama. His parents were several hundred feet behind us and blissfully unaware of what their offspring was doing. Someone in the comments said, "Dudley Dursley is such a little brat," and that's, yeah, if you've seen Harry Potter, that's pretty accurate. I'm not a pharmacist. I frequently get asked if I work in places. I suppose I just have one of those faces. Usually people accept the, "Sorry, I don't work here," but I was in the pharmacy the other day when a young woman approached me with the, "I have a question." I told her that I didn't work there, and she just goes, "I know, I just have a question. What's the active ingredient in this?" as she held out 2 different weight loss supplements. She was Asian and had a slight accent, so I figured English was not her first language, and possibly she just needed a little bit of help finding the ingredient on the package. So I read out the names of the active ingredients for her. This one has X and Y, and this one says it has X and Z. Can I take these 2 together? I'm sorry, I really don't know. No, but what is the maximum you can take of X ingredient? How much can I take of these? I really have no idea, sorry. I think it would be best to ask the pharmacist, with a gesture in that direction. At this point, I just bounced, though felt a little rude as she was still trying to ask me questions about these supplements and how much she could take of them. I'm willing to help when people need it, especially when it comes to language barriers, but I'm definitely not qualified to be advising strangers on the maximum dosages for weight loss supplements. Also, I don't work here. I've always wondered though, how do they find out the maximum dosages of these things? Do they just give people them until something happens? Like they die or they feel really sick? Because that seems pretty hard to figure out, right? Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more videos like it, then click on screen right now. And if you never want to miss out on a video, then hit subscribe, but I will see you all very soon.